chapter 1, if you can tell what we covered. Very good. Yeah, very good. So anybody wants to name those? What are those? Compassion. So compassion was one. Second, family tradition, sinful activities, like fear of sinful activities. Last time also we missed that. Loss of enjoyment. Yeah, loss of enjoyment was. And the fifth one is actually indecisiveness. Yeah. So good. I think not we are not lost that yet, which is good. So so this is what we have covered last time. Just want to ask everybody: is that okay? What you see on the top, or is it too up? Come here. Somebody, nobody is there. Yeah. But depending on what you suggest, then next week we will arrange. So who wants to have there? Raise your hands. Okay, only one Mataji, two Mataji. And what about here? Last week we had on this wall Sajay, Govind Prabhu, one, Vikas Prabhu, two. So I think they have more. Yes, that's correct. Look, little down. True. Okay. So for today, is that okay? We can do today. Okay. So this is what we discussed. Compassion. Last time, if you see, we did 1.28 to 1.30, and then this chapter, Krishna is going to refute it. How we will refute? We'll see, which is 2.11 to 2.30. Then loss of enjoyment, that we will cover 2.31 to 32. And then fear of sinful reactions, how Krishna refutes. This is 33 and 37. Destruction of family tradition, which is multiple verses like 45, 46, and then next chapter, that is third chapter, that will be covered. And indecision or indecisiveness, nothing to refute, because that is, he was saying, if I do, there is no enjoyment. If I don't do, there is no enjoyment. So there is nothing. Actually, Krishna is going to clear everything in this chapter, and you will see how. Yeah, that we will be covering. Yes. Good question. So this is what the division of chapter 2. So Ajay Govind Prabhu, if you see Arjun's further doubts, so he will have further doubts, and then he will reach to a point where he cannot do further anything, or he says, I cannot do anything, I want to surrender to you. So that will be covered in 2.1 until verse 10. And then afterwards, soul is eternal, basically jnana. There also Krishna actually refutes all his Arjuna's arguments, and then shows him that how in that platform also you can fight. So he uses jnana. Then second, he uses karma kanda, and then from karma kanda, a part of karma kanda is which we call nishkam karma yoga, will be buddhi yoga, which will be 39 to 53. And then how we can reach or maintain our consciousness, that is given in the last section of this chapter. So this is actually the systematic or division of the chapter. We'll not be able to cover everything today, so we'll see how much we can cover. And I wasn't planning. I was planning only the first 2 lines, but let's see how much we can cover. Yeah. So now going to 2.1 to 2.10, which is, as I mentioned, Arjuna's further doubts in the and he started to surrender. Now, if 2.1 is very straightforward, I would also read one, or maybe I can. Yeah, that one, that copy, the next one, bro. Yes, thank you. Thank you, bro. Sorry. So 2.1, if you see, right? Let me just open. So 2.1, Sanjay is actually explaining to Dhritarashtra what is happening to Arjuna. So we'll skip that. Now 2.2 is where Krishna is started speaking. This is the first time Krishna is speaking in this Bhagavad Gita. So if anybody can read either verse or translation, whatever you are comfortable. So if you can read the third verse also. Right. So if you see these two verses, actually very important things. First important thing, when we read, we don't realize, but acharyas have mentioned that Krishna has mentioned as Shri Bhagwan Uvacha. If you see Arjuna or Sanjaya, they just Sanjaya Uvacha or Arjuna Uvacha. But here it is said Shri Bhagwan Uvacha. And then Prabhupada in the purport is mentioning that why Bhagwan, the word Bhagwan is important. Right? So as a practitioner, we should understand what exactly that Bhagwan word means. So as everybody knows that there are, for absolute truth or Lord, there are three phases. Right? So one is Brahman. What is the second one? Paramatma. And the third is Bhagwan. So what is the difference between all these three? Correct. 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 Yeah, very good. Actually, as we read more and more Prabhupada's books, that is so clear, so straightforward. But if you ask this concept to anybody else who are not in connection with Prabhupada or Prabhupada's books, it's very difficult to tell these differences. For us, you see, it is very clearly mentioned. If you read the paragraph, these three divine aspects. If anybody can, or maybe I'll read. Everybody, if can concentrate on these three divine aspects, can be explained by the example of the sun, which also has three different aspects, namely the sunshine, the sun's surface, and the sun planet itself. One who studies the sunshine only is the preliminary student. One who understands the sun's surface is further advanced, and one who can enter into the sun planet is the highest. Ordinary students who are satisfied by simply understanding the sunshine, the universal pervasiveness. So it is impersonal. So the first aspect, Brahman, is you are just thinking Lord as an energy. You are seeing the impact of Lord everywhere, but you are not having any relation to it. Right? That is actually impersonal, realization. Second is the plenary portion of the Lord, that Lord's reflection is there in everybody's heart. And the third one is Bhagwan, the Swayam Krishna. Swayam Lord himself is there, and you are having some relation, or you want to have some relation with Lord. Right? And here it is used as Bhagwan. It is not used as Paramatma Vach. It is used as Bhagwan. So it is very important, especially for us, as I mentioned, that we should understand that relation. That there is Krishna who is Swayam present there, and he is talking. Yeah. So what, before we go, what he is talking, other definition is given by Parashar Muni. What is Bhagwan? So Bhagwan has 6 opulences, all the opulences in full, that means 100%. Nobody else can have those opulences. You might have heard that multiple times. So can we list those? What are those 6 opulences? All attractive, knowledgeable, strength, renunciation, fame, riches. 6. Very good. So all these 6 opulences he has in full. Yeah. First time when I heard this, the first question came to me, that how come renunciation can be a opulence? Right? It is very straightforward. You can have everything else as opulence, but how come renunciation is opulence? Anybody? No attachment. Yeah, there is no attachment at all. You can have multiple souls having all these 5, other things: riches, famous, strength, beauty, but they may be attached to that. Krishna is only one who has that opulence where he is detached. Even if he have everything full, he is even detached also full. So very important point to understand. Yeah? Okay. And then if you see the further words in 2.2 and 2.3, when we read, there are multiple um, words we have went through. One is Anarya. Anarya is, Arya. Maybe in history we have read about Arya. So from Arya perspective, you know, um, they have a disciplined lifestyle. They are basically advanced in their time. That's the reason we used to call Arya. So Anarya is basically you are away from that discipline. Arya, actually, Prabhupada has mentioned that Arya means they were civilized class of man. Why? Because they knew the goal of life. The goal of life was attending Vishnu, right? So their life was arranged in such a way that they can have a progress, spiritual progress, so that they can attain Vishnu. Now Krishna is actually asking Arjuna, or basically chastising Arjuna, that how can you say like this, which is not Arya like, because he himself is Arya, supposed to be Arya. So why he is doing that? Then other one is Kasmalam, implies impurity. So why exactly Krishna is saying impure to Arjuna? Not only impure, he is calling him multiple things, right? He is calling his importance. If you see the third verse, if you read, right, that degrading importance, and then as well as he is saying petty weakness of heart. So all these he is calling to his friend. He's calling Kasmalam, implies impurities. Klaibyam, it's calling you are important. And then Hruday Durlabhyam, right? Weakness of heart. Person like Arjuna, and Krishna is actually, chastising him, telling him, you are all this. Why? Correct. But why these strong words? Correct. Just to shake him up, because this is the start that Krishna is trying to, teach him, trying to tell him actual value. So to shake him up, because when you shake somebody, when he has different perception. If somebody is unknown, then you can just tell him. But somebody has a misconception, then you have to shake him, right? Especially, we do kids that you have to shake them up, otherwise they will not listen. So that is what Krishna is doing here. So what is happening of that shaking up? Arjuna got hurt and he is trying to counteract. So 2.4 and 2.5, if you see, he is trying to say that this is I am not telling because of my Hruday Daurlubhyam. This is not weakness of my heart. There is a reason why I am saying that. Right? So Arjuna is saying, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship? This is 2.4. And the 2.5, he is going one more level up. Right? It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood. If you see, the argument is very strong. If you think like that, then you will say, oh yeah, he is saying correct. Why should he do? Because he is loving them, he respects them. How can he kill them? Right? So he is going further. And then 2.6, which we covered last time, is indecision. Now, if you see, he is confused completely because Krishna is pushing him, saying you are important, you are, you don't have strong heart. And then other side he is saying, how can I kill them? So he is in, two minds. What is the indecision? As we covered last time. If I fight, right? If I fight, either I will win, but if I win, I have to kill them. So what is the use? There is no enjoyment. If I lose, anyway I will be losing. So what is the enjoyment? No enjoyment. And if I don't fight, right? So what he has mentioned, if I don't fight, then as a Kshatriya, he has only one option. He has to beg. So even begging is not an enjoyment for him. So this is like lose-lose situation. Usually we know win-win situation. This is lose-lose. So why should I do? Right? So we'll see what is happening then next. Right? Now here he is saying, I am not ready to fight and I am confused completely. So now this is the step, very important step. He is surrendering to Krishna. Because Krishna is also, very different personality, as you may know because of different stories we heard of Krishna. Until Arjuna is surrendered, he is not going to give any instructions to him. Right? Now the surrender part is starting. So how it is happening? Right? First we saw Krishna had chastised Arjuna. Right? Then in 2.7, somebody can read? Sure, no problem. So very important verse. Like everybody should, by heart this verse. Because this is the verse he is saying, now I am confused. I don't know what duty to do. Please take me, accept me as your disciple. Instruct me. Clearly he is saying. So we already covered indecision. Now he is confused of his duty because he don't know what to do. Because both the ways he think that there is no perfect choice. And he is actually lost all his composure. Composure is very important for strong, Kshatriyas. And he lost that composure and he is basically about to cry and asking Krishna for help. 2.8 is also similar. Actually, he is reconfirming that whatever state I am now, nobody can help me. So 2.8, if anybody can read. Mataji's maybe? Somebody? So to understand this, we need to be in Arjuna's shoes, right? Because these are not just words. If you see what he is saying, that the grief what I have now, nobody can take away this grief. This is very important for us, each and every of us, because we will be having, or we may had this situation in the past where we are stuck to the wall. We don't know what to do. We think if I hit the wall, no use. If I come back, no use. Same thing. He is saying that. He's clearly saying, even if I get the victory, even if I get all the opulences, it's not going to drive away my lamentation. So what is the use? Because even if you got everything, you're not going to be happy. So this situation is very important for everybody to progress in spiritual life. What situation is this? Helplessness. Complete helplessness. There will be no use of your intelligence. There will be no use of your high position. There will be no use of your money. Here, nobody can help you. Nothing can be used. So this is the situation where Arjuna is. And then he says, I don't want to fight. Yeah, 2.9 and 2.10, we can take it together. Sanjay said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. 10. O descendant of Bharat, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. So why Krishna is smiling? Anybody? Yeah, but why he's smiling? Huh? He knows the future. Yeah, it's basically personal because it's so close friend, right? Now he is saying, you are my guru. They were so close that I told you last time, they used to play, sleep together, and that's the reason he is smiling. Now, he is in the right path. Because if you see your friend, doing such activity, you will also feel the same. So it is very personal here. And then he starts speaking. Right? Other 2 points, very important. When we read this, we will not understand. But it is said here, and Vyasadeva, as you know, he is literary incarnation of Krishna. So no word he has just placed there. There is some importance there. So if you see, in the midst of both the armies, why it is important? It is important because Bhagavad Gita is not only for friends, it is equally for enemies. Because he is doing in front of both the armies. It is open for everybody. It is not secular. It is not only for some kind of people. Right? So this important point just by this word is covered. Right? And other thing is, as last time also we covered this, that Krishna accepts role as per devotee's desire. The role of guru he is accepting from his own friend. Right? So it is very important that what we desire. Right? So because Krishna will grant or accept, so we have to be very careful what we desire. If we don't know what we have to desire, many times that happens. At least with me, it many times happens. So it is better to pray to Prabhupada, better to pray our Guru, saying, I don't know what to desire, but whatever is best, please, let it come to me. In this regard, I like a prayer by Bhakti Tirtha Swami. I know, I hope everybody knows who is Bhaktitirtha Swami. Sri Vrindavan Prabhu's Guru Maharaj. Right? So he has a prayer that, O Lord, whatever we need to be better servant for Srila Prabhupada's mission, let it happen or come to us, and whatever need to be taken away to be pure in Srila Prabhupada's service, let it be taken away. Amazing prayer. Amazing prayer. That there are two, both the ways are given there. That so profound that whatever we need, let it come or happen. And whatever is extra or bothering or hurdle in our devotional service, let it be taken away. That taken away part is very important, because taken away means Krishna can take everything. Right? So very powerful prayer. So I suggest, right, that if we don't know what to pray, then just pray to Prabhupada or Guru, that whatever is good for us, let it happen to us. Any questions, comments? So this is the first part where Arjuna still had doubt. Krishna chastised him. Now he surrendered, and Krishna started to speak. So this whole section is a jnana. Everybody knows what is jnana. Okay, so 2.11. Anybody, if you can read? So as soon as Krishna accepted, first thing he did is slapping to Arjuna, saying, you are talking like a learned person, but you are not doing activity of learned. So what exactly is learned in this perspective? Who is real learned? Right, from this perspective, if you see, yeah, go ahead. You were saying something. Right, but if you saw previous verses, even Shastra is not useful. Correct. Correct. So who is learned here is who knows soul, what is soul, who knows what is matter or what is body. So that is learned. Second question is very easy. What is knowledge or what is learned? Right? Same thing, that who understands complete relation between this and beyond. What is beyond? Relationship and Krishna part should also come, right? The body, soul, and then the controller. So that complete package is knowledge. Yeah? 2.12. Anybody? So Krishna is telling here, if you see, that we are individuals. How? We are eternal individuals. So here in purport, I think you should read the purport of 2.12. Especially if you had some discussions or some oppositions from somebody on Mayavadi philosophy versus, what Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy is. Right? So this purport is very important. Right? So what we are, this verse says that we are individual. That means we have our own identity and we are eternal. Yeah. Why I was saying the Mayavadi philosophy? Because Prabhupada has explained is I just mentioned only 2 points here, but Prabhupada has mentioned few more points. I mentioned very basic points because Mayavadi philosophy says that individual soul is not individual; he is just separated from the whole, and then after purification, it will go and merge again to the whole. That is Mayavadi philosophy, right? But here Krishna is saying himself that everybody is individual from beginning. Everybody is individual, right? And there is nothing called merging because individual. See, he is clearly mentioning, as Prabhuji read, right? Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. That means in future also we will be having that. There are multiple reasons, right? We coming here. That means that will explain where they were. But for simplicity, that spiritual world, we were with Krishna, and then we came here. It's not because we are still individual, but we are only inside him. For simplicity, yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So annihilation time, then we'll have some position where everybody will be there inside Krishna. Then annihilation will take place. New world will create. Then depending on our karma and other accounts, checks and balances. Then we'll go to that world. Yeah. Yes, bro. Correct. Yeah, we will have a state. In that state, we will be just inside Mahavishnu. We will have our individuality. Yes. Soul, we will be covering that. So what are the characteristics of soul? Soul carries few things. We will be covering that. Yeah. Anything? Okay, so we'll go further. 2.13 to 2.15 is more concentrating on dhira. What exactly is dhira? So especially 2.13 is talking about transmigration. So if you see, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Okay. So this is theory of transmigration, like how soul goes from one body to other body. This is happening when we are in the same body as well, right? Recently, I don't know if some of you might have seen that there was some article on reincarnation of one boy. I saw in bcsswami.com, bhakticharaswami.com, where they have actually wrote a very good book of that kid's experience from like 2 years onward, that he was not able to sleep in the night. He used to scream, blabber something. His parents were very very upset. They didn't know what to do. When he started talking, that time they heard he saying that that plane is on fire, little man cannot come out. That was what he was screaming. They didn't understand what it is. They tried to go to some doctor, psychologist, try to unwind what exactly. He's very small, 3 years, 4 year old. No, no, here. Okay. Yeah, here I think somewhere in Pittsburgh up and somewhere. Yeah, you can search. Maybe I can send if you are interested. Pilot, yes, yes. Yeah, recently only I read. Actually, I saw this 3 4 years back, but now, yeah, now actually it came again. Yeah, recently it came on that. So many people don't realize or don't believe, but there are cases, many cases you might have heard, but this is coming from Western world. There are many cases in Western world also, but this is kind of fresh. So then they saw that kids interest in planes and telling about the planes and their different weapons and their capacities. That his parents got amazed seeing that fighter plane. Yes, training because he was like 5 6 years old and he was telling, and then while talking with him, more and more things got revealed, and then they found that he was actually a pilot whose plane was shot down by Japanese, and they connected to co-pilots who were there with him that time, and he could tell few things. He could recognize also them names of the some pilots. Yeah, 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 yes. That is also given, and it's a book also. His mother has wrote a book now with help of some writers, right? So amazing story. So we are fortunate that we know all this before, but there are few souls out there that they don't know why this is happening. They are more confused. What will happen then if happen to us also? Will not. Actually, it happened to him because of his karma. He has to pay. He, right, right. No, but the actual reason is because of his karma. He has to go through this also and get connected to his previous life because of his karma. It is not a mistake. It is not a what do you call that? Delete complete nahi hua. It is not that. Yeah, there is a reason. Yeah, yeah, please. Correct, 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 correct. But that soul has its own, as we say, right, individuality. So soul has its own characteristics, and each soul is different than other. Each soul has a different characteristics. Why we have made, why so many souls are in picture, right? Because if you see Lord is unlimited, so he has unlimited potencies, unlimited ways to gets satisfied. So each and everybody has a specific, very specific service to satisfy him. So that service problem is we don't know what it is. So that we need to go through this process to know what is our real service. Right? So going back to chitta, so actually soul also has few items that, so these impressions are very deep in the soul, and that's the reason it is not. What happens, there is a process where from in between material world and spiritual world, when soul goes, there is, they call viraja. Viraja is a river, what they call. So through viraja, when it passes, that time it clears everything, whatever that soul has. I will ask you a question. If you see two you know babies or dogs, right? Both are born together, but if you see, they both will not act same. Somebody may be more aggressive than, yeah, same time a dog, puppies, and then both will not act same. Some is aggressive, some is less. How it is possible? Because everybody has that individuality that is with our soul. Correct. Correct. So it is ROM versus RAM. Okay. It is mostly what you said is physical as memory, but then mind, intelligence, and false ego is there with our soul. So that time there is an impression on the mind. That's the reason if you see, or mostly you see our kids in some Sunday temple, or you see Utkrishta also. Mataji was saying one day to us that when he was like 2 years old, you said that he started playing mridanga. How? Where he learned? You can see our Rachet also. He bangs very nicely. We also cannot bang that. So from where it is coming? He is just like 2 years old. He is less than two. Less. Huh? Yeah, yeah. Prabhuji observed it nicely. So that is deep impression on the mind, which is flowing through. Correct. That is extension. Most of the part will be forget. Yeah. Correct. Yes. Very well. Interesting. Yeah, it will go with the soul. Okay. So Dhira. So 2.13 did we? Okay. So 2:14 and 15. Yeah, very nice verses. Actually, these verses are very important verses. Maybe somebody can read 15. Yeah, 14 also you can read. Just fifteen. Okay. So if you see here, the dhira, these three, if you cover together, then we know what is dhira. see the definition is given. Perfect in knowledge of constitution of the soul, super soul, and nature. Right. So dhira, if you are dhira, then you will be undisturbed by change of bodies. And then 2.14 is telling about tolerate dualities. Everybody knows duality, right? We don't have to spend time. Now the next question comes as a sadhakas, that why we should tolerate dualities. Just because Krishna is saying we should tolerate? Why should we tolerate? Yeah, but why? But you want something, that's the reason you have to tolerate, right? Bodily perception. Okay. Right. But then why we have to do that? Yeah, it leads to, yeah, yeah. I think partly everybody. Actually, it leads to detachment. That is important part, right? Detachment. Because once you know that this is, sukha and dukkha, it's just one part of, one side of the coin. Then you know the knowledge that okay, then how much importance you should give. That detachment will come to you. Right? So another question I have asked, that how we can tolerate the duality. We spoke about that, right? But there are some subtle steps in that how you will tolerate the dualities. One, how everybody was saying that first we need to know, that is we need to know what is illusion. As Prabhuji you mentioned that yes, this is sansaric. So that first we should know. Many people don't know that. Second one is that once we understand, then we have to see what is higher than that. Okay? These two combined will give us that how to tolerate the dualities. Right? Now couple of yeah. So if you see why you understood, right? Everybody understood why we are doing the tolerating dualities. Then how we can do? One is to understand what is the duality. That means actual illusion. What is the illusion? We need to understand first, right? Because without understanding, you will not be able to control or cover, right, yourself from that. So first you understand that. At the same time, you should develop higher taste. At the same time, you should have a higher goal. Because just understanding, oh no, I don't have to do. How many days, how many months, how many years you will not do that? Right? So you need to understand that we have to go to higher. Yeah? They can see, but they will not be able to go beyond. Because you will be pulled back again and again, right? Because how you will think about spirituality if we have day-to-day problems, right? We will be caught up in that. Right. If I understand correctly, your situation or question is not different than what Arjuna is, right? He has putting all the arguments, saying, "How can I kill?" Right? One we saw in this chapter, my grandfather, I love him so much, and you are telling me to kill. Krishna is telling him to kill. Why Krishna is telling? Krishna is not telling that you kill your grandfather. Right? Krishna is telling he is wrong. Right? So you have to kill him. That is the reason, yeah, sorry to cut you, but that is the reason I wanted to put in right perspective. That is the reason this is the most complex situation. Arjuna's situation or situation of Mahabharata or this war is most complex. Our situations will be less very less complex than this. So if something is right for that situation, right? Empirically you can study and see how we can use for our situation. Your question is valid. I am not saying no. Yeah. Correct. That is also coming. That is coming. This is what that is what we want. That you should think in that direction. That how should you use this will give the answer. Yeah, but the way it is given, right? You may not be able to get it directly. That's the reason we need spiritual master. Yeah, that's the reason you need guru. So that will come as spiritual. Any questions here? 2.15 is just eligibility of liberation. So we discussed about that. It is just a higher state. So when you will be eligible, when you will be um, able to sustain or tolerate the dualities, right? And when you are doing your duties. Okay. So because Prabhu, this is what your answer is. How we will know truth? You were asking that how we will know whether it is right or wrong. It was very difficult what Arjuna gave. Without Prabhupada's purport, we will be also asking the same question. We will having, oh, Arjuna is right. He's saying, how can I do this? How can I do that? If I do that, whole family will collapse. I will not do this. Right? We saw last week. So as I think Suhas Prabhu mentioned, right? So 2.16 is seers of truth. So what exactly is that? Or who are they? So those individuals who can see through eyes of Shastras, they are actually seeing truth. What is correct? That was your question, right? How we will know? Somebody will say this is right. You may think that is right, but somebody else will think, no, this is not correct. Very difficult. Yeah, very, very difficult. Practical life. Correct. The fun part is, I don't know, as we develop our devotional, fun part is what is right today, right? After a few years you will see it's not right. That also is there. Amazing things, experiences we will get. Amazing experiences. I've told few devotees that Krishna, the way he takes our life personally, right? So he will see that this devotee has this issue, right? He will just put in front of us, you have this issue. If we don't understand, after few days, same issue will come in front of us. If we don't understand, after few weeks, same issue will come in front of us. Again and again. If you have some problem coming again and again, you pray to Krishna, ask him, Krishna, what do you want me to learn? If you cannot see that, then you will know, you will solve that problem. Guess what? There will be another problem in front of you. Krishna will show another thing. Okay, now this is the problem. I want you to improve on this. Continuously it's coming on that. Because we have so many impurities. And the impurities are such a things that, yeah, sorry, I think that's okay. No, that's okay. So impurities are such a thing that as you go deeper and deeper, they are so subtle that you will be surprised to know that I had this impurity. Simple things we can directly see. What is subtle versus what is gross. Gross is you can directly see. This is what is happening. Oh, I am very violent. I am very, I become very angry. But subtle thing that directly relates to your thinking, it's very difficult to get that front. Don't worry. You continue what you are doing. Continue your chanting. Continue your selfless service. That will also come up. And Krishna will show you perfectly that this is what the issue is. And he will provide the help also how to solve. If we are sincere, we will provide all the help. Yeah. Oh, charger is there. Okay. Now from here, more instructions are coming from Krishna. So as I mentioned, the ignorance. So ignorance are So different kinds of ignorance. One ignorance we talked very much is about I am body, I am not, soul. Other ignorance, which I think we didn't cover, but there are many souls like that. They think that I am God. But if I directly tell you, you will not agree to me. But if I tell you that they think that they are controller, most of us will agree them. Right? They think that they can control everything. They can control their destiny and they can control destiny of their relatives, or what you call the body relations. Right? So these are the ignorance. So how we can remove these ignorance? Right? And don't get me wrong. I am not saying that we shouldn't decide to achieve something. Right? We should do that. Krishna didn't tell Arjuna that, oh, don't fight, go and sit in the under the banyan tree. He didn't tell that. He told him, fight. So never think that, oh, we shouldn't, in corporate ladder or anywhere, we shouldn't do our best. We should do the best. But understanding why we are doing it, that is important. Same action, but consciousness should be different. Yeah. Okay, so we will do characteristics of soul and maybe another 5 to 7 minutes. Is that okay? Everybody? Yeah, this is what I was saying, Prabhuji, that we have a whole section on characteristics of soul. Here actually what other devotees have done, and some Maharajas also done, the whole chapter they have clubbed together to show characteristics of soul together. So what are the characteristics of soul, which is coming in from 2.11 to 2.30? Eternally and individual, that we already covered in the verse when we were doing 2.12. Right? That means it is individual as well as it is connected to Lord as a part and parcel. Everybody understand what is part and parcel, right? Yeah. Okay. Then soul is unborn. So 2.21, if anybody wants to read. Okay. So it is saying soul is unborn, so it does not take birth. Right? Straightforward. Soul is indestructible and eternal. Nobody can kill or cut it or burn it. Yeah. So these are all characteristics of the soul. And then physically you can see soul is immeasurable. Right? It is so minute that there is nothing other than our intelligence which can be used to gauge the soul. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada has mentioned, I think it is some reference he gave, um, Mukunda Svetasar, I think, is 1/10,000th part of a tip of the hair is the size of the heart, size of the soul. Now, soul never undergoes changes. Okay. So, if you see, soul is steady, then immutable. We just read immutable. Immutable means it doesn't changes, right? Or it doesn't change his consciousness. Also, second point which Mayavadis say that. So that also it doesn't do. Never become God. Soul always remain atomic to infinite, supreme. Soul cannot be cut, burnt, dried, or wet. 2.23. You can read 2.23 and 24. So all these material things we cannot do anything with to soul. 24. Okay, so last word, immovable, unchangeable, everlasting, and eternally the same. So this continues. There are a few more points on this. Yes, please. No, no, very good, very logical question actually. But we have to count other things also. We are just counting human beings. So there are so many other things, and bacteria, this, that. We don't know how much. So we are getting from there. All bacteria are becoming humans. Yeah, we can go to other planets. There is no limit. I don't remember the in Chaitanya Charitamrut the devotee's name. I don't remember. So he is so humble and he is so loving to all devotees that he requests to the Lord. He becomes so unhappy seeing everybody's sorrow. He requests Lord that you know please deliver everybody and give everybody's sin to me. Right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answers him, just laughing, that you are telling about this world. What about all other worlds? You know? So there are other worlds that we cannot see from our material eyes or perspective. Most of you may know about how the Mahavishnu, just his breath, everything is coming in and basically coming out and going in. So there are many bubbles in the river, so causal ocean, that there may be many universes. Yeah, good. Mm. Yeah, good. Yeah, Good observation actually. I never thought in that direction. Only thing I can see, I don't know the exact meaning of I am. Yeah, so whether I am is soul or it is just this. Here, word by word, it is shown as a soul. I am as given as a the soul. Yes, then it is there. Yeah, now. Yeah, all. Right. Yeah, I am. Right. No, it's good point because yeah, many times what happens. It is so matured that those things are implied rather than specifically spoke. Yeah. Um, Other thing is now a couple of more points about soul. The position of soul is mentioned. So everybody knows it is in the region of heart. That's the reason we have feelings or other things coming from heart. Then soul is sarvagat. Important point that sarvagat means it is everywhere. Right? Everywhere means, as we say, different planets. It is on sun planet also. It is on different places. They may have different bodies, but soul is present there. Right? Yeah, ghosts. Yeah. So how to perceive the soul? Soul is invisible and inconceivable. As I said, only perception we can use, only tool we can use is intelligence. There is nothing in material that which we can use to find soul or measure soul. Then influence of soul, basically it pervades whole body. Consciousness is given in the whole body. So that's the reason even if something is touched, we can feel. And this is more related to the how body functions. The last point, the effects on the life airs on the soul. So as if you have heard about Ayurveda, how different airs, there are 5 types of airs we have. And then hatha yoga, those kundalini and those, they will try to raise that and up as possible so that they can relate to Lord. Right. But basically how we can understand that is a soul, right? individually Individually only we can perceive the soul. Basically there is a question by many, right, out there, that is there soul? Right? There is nothing which we can measure and show there is a soul. Only way is perception. So you have to perceive that there is a soul. That is that point. If I got your question correct. If I got your question correct. No, just to know there is soul. That not understanding. Just to accept the soul. Yes. That is the point. Life is. Yeah. Yeah, in the purport it is there. So I can show you. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, no, don't worry. This is the right place. No, no, don't worry. This is the right place. Maybe some questions we can take after the class. Some questions when it is in the class. Yeah. So I think we will stop here. Anybody has any comment? There are some stories, but I'm not sure whether whether it has in-depth information. No, not normal. That is by rule. Yeah, because Krishna touches, even if he kills. No, it doesn't apply. Yeah, it doesn't apply. So they will go through that cycle. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, liberation is. Yeah, because they were special. Special means they were playing a role, and that was predefined role there. So it was arranged. Lord knew. So yeah, that is. Yeah, Jai Vijay. Yes. We shouldn't think about demons, Mother. There are many devotees. Right. So yeah, question is valid, but I don't know that which level they reached and come back. Yeah, I'm not aware. Yeah, that is the different degrees, but I'm not aware. But yeah, but as a kshatriya, if they are doing their prescribed duties, they will get higher planets, or they will go to liberation, or they will be liberated. Right? Okay. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. the inception time only. The time of inception only. That is. Yeah, it's yeah. Consciousness, not soul, right? Consciousness. Yeah. We need to ask them like concept how it is related to conception. That is what we were trying to do.